guys, it's Naseem here. Now, whenever I look at my Pixel 6 Pro, there's this one single word that I think wraps it up as a whole. And mind you, this is a very important word that I think many people will agree with me on. And that word is progression. And if you didn't know, the Pixel 6 Pro has had the rockiest start out of any smartphone in the past few years. It had a ton of bugs, the auto brightness wasn't working properly, the fingerprint sensor was insanely slow, and the battery was extremely questionable since many people weren't used to the idea of an adaptive battery. But after all of the updates that the Pixel 6 Pro has gone through, and I'm talking about many updates, I can finally say that the Pixel 6 Pro is one of the phones that I would recommend to many people. And again, I'm saying this because the Pixel 6 Pro has really improved a lot and is arguably the smoothest Android experience that you can get in the market. But the one thing that I really think puts it above the Pixel 7 Pro or any other phone for that matter is the fact that it's a cheaper price. It's giving you the ultimate smoothness, a great chip, a great display, and many more things that will make anyone happy with it. And that's why I had to make this video and share my experience to help you decide whether or not you should buy it. Now, the Pixel 6 Pro has a 6.7-inch display that I must say was one of the best displays that you can get on the phone when it comes to this price. I also love the fact that despite the lower price, Google still implemented a 120Hz refresh rate on it, unlike the iPhone 14 Plus. And I will say it looks really amazing. Like right here, you can see me scrolling through the OS and it looks as smooth as ever. Doing simple things like going through the app manager and being on social media were much better than if it were 60Hz. And speaking of the display, right here you can see that the colors are vibrant, the resolution is pretty amazing, it didn't look too saturated, and the whole experience was much better than I expected. Now, one problem that I had with the screen was that the brightness was severely lacking, especially when you compare it to Samsung, where all of their screens manage to have the highest brightness. Whenever I go to work, I will be outside on a sunny day and pull out my phone, and as soon as the brightness was all the way up, I still couldn't see, which was very underwhelming. Now, one thing that I will say is that the fingerprint sensor has gotten much better. It didn't start off great, but over time, it improved little by little with each update. I also really enjoyed the quality of the display. The resolution and bigger size gave me an immersive visual experience that was up there with any other high-end flagship. Now, something that I really liked about the Pixel 6 Pro was how well it was able to run the latest versions of Android. And while I was using my 6 Pro, I was still on Android 13, and it handled it just as smooth as top-tier flagships. There were no lags, everything felt buttery smooth, and it gave me a very new feeling despite being over a year old. The 6 Pro was also able to handle power heavy apps really well, surprisingly. Whenever I would play power heavy games, I rarely got any lags. Also, whenever I'm using my Google Maps, the phone would get hot and the software was still working just fine, as opposed to many other phones that freeze and completely shut down on me. And it also still had those premium software features that really keep you immersed within the phone. And in my opinion, I would definitely say that it's one of the smoothest Android phones that you can get in the market. And it also had that premium smoothness that even with the minor bugs was a joy of using. And if you are considering getting this phone, then using less power heavy apps will improve the performance and make it a better experience. Now, I'll usually get about 5 to 7 hours of on-screen time, which was pretty hefty usage to put enough strain on the battery, and I was doing things like watching movies, playing games, and even planning out videos, which was fairly heavy use. And even after putting all that strain on the battery, I would end up with about 20% battery left, which wasn't that great, but was still enough to get me through the night. Also, take into consideration the fact that I had adaptive battery on, and it adapted to how I use my phone, so there were many times where my phone would drop to 60Hz just to preserve battery life. Now, something that I loved about the battery was the fact that it had pretty fast charging speeds. Like, there were times where I would forget to charge my phone and had to charge it while I was getting ready for work, and it would take me about an hour to get ready, and by the time I was done, my phone will be on 100%, which was just enough for me to last the whole day. Now, the camera on the Pixel 6 Pro was easily my favorite thing that I loved about this phone. It had some of the best photos and really impressed me with how great it was even after a year of use. Like, when we look at the daytime outside photos, we can see that these were very vibrant, colorful, sharp, and we're also able to capture my face very beautifully. And in my opinion, when it comes to people of color, I really do think that the Pixel 6 Pro and the 7 Pro are the best in the market. And when we look at the daytime inside photos, we can see that the camera was still amazing, the colors were very accurate, my skin still looked amazing, and it also brightened up the photo even though there was less lighting. Now, when we look at the nighttime outside photos, we can see that the sky still looked amazing, the colors of objects look really good, and my skin tone still looked amazing, all while bringing in a great amount of light to help the photo. It still looked pretty great given the environment. My skin looked okay but could be better. The graininess was at an all-time high, but overall it still was pretty good. And when it comes to video quality, I would say that the Pixel 6 Pro was amazing. And to show you guys what I mean, here's an example of a video that I took.
Oh, come on. you gotta be quicker than that.
And there it is, my review and thoughts on the Pixel 6 Pro after 1 year of use. Now, let me know down in the comments, do you guys still get the same bugs? You know, has your phone improved after the updates? And let me know if you're willing to get the 6 Pro over the 7 Pro or any other phone for that matter. Because again, I really do think that this phone is better than other phones in terms of value because of that cheaper price and after the updates. And I really do think that many of you guys will enjoy this phone. So let me know down in the comments what you think. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I'd like to say thank you for sticking around. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It'll be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.